So moving on to example 2, what are the coordinates of point 3/5 of the way from A to B? All right, so a couple of things going on here. First off, we're not trying to find halfway between, we're trying to find 3/5 of the way. So the midpoint would be halfway, there's a specific way to do that. Now, to find 3/5 of the way from A to B, first thing you have to consider is we're going from somewhere to somewhere. So it's important that you know directions here. So we're starting at A, and A's coordinates would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right, and 2 up from the origin. So A is 5, 2. Always X, Y order when you're identifying coordinates. And then we're going to be ending at B. So when we look at B's coordinates, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left, and 1, 2, 3 down. That's 5, -3. Right? So if I was on a segment connecting A and B, if I'm on the segment connecting A and B, and I want to go 3/5 of the way, halfway would be somewhere in here. 3/5, I need to go a little further than that, right? But if I was going from B to A, halfway is about here, 3/5 would be over here somewhere. So it really matters which direction you're going when you're doing this. Make sure you make note of that. And the technique that we're going to use here is similar to the midpoint technique. We're going to focus on one coordinate at a time. The X coordinate is going to be something, the Y coordinate is going to be something, and they don't affect each other. So if I'm dealing with the X coordinate, I want to do my start value minus my end value. Okay, that tells me how far it is from A to B directionally. Backwards. I did it backwards. End minus start.
Wouldn't the 5 be negative in B?
It should be, didn't I? Right? -5. Thank you, Blaine. It should be -5. So we're going to do the end value, minus the start value is what you're going to do. Start. All right. Okay. That'll get me how far apart there. It'll also take me the right direction. All right. So I'm going from a +5 to a -5. So if I do the ending value -5 minus the starting value +5, that's -10. That's the first thing you do. That tells you how far it is to get from A to B. Are we going all the way from A to B? How far are we going? 3/5 of the way, right? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out how far 3/5 of the whole distance is. This is the whole distance from A to B. I want to multiply that times 3/5. And again, I got 3/5 from right there. Each time you partition a segment, you're going to be asked to go a certain fractional distance of the way. Multiply the total distance by that fraction. And notice that 10, if we put over 1, divides by 5, so does 5. So -10 divided by 5 is -2. 5 divided by 5 is 1, leaving us with 3 times -2 on top, which is -6. That's over 1, which I don't put over 1s. If it was over something else, I'd write it down. So if it's like, let's say, 3 times -2 on top and 4 times 1 on the bottom, I'd put, -6 over 4, reduce then. All right. So -6 is how far we're going to move. Where are we starting from? A, which is 5, right? So the final thing we have to do is we have to add this number to the starting number. So A begins at 5, and we're going to move -6 away from 5. 5 plus -6 equals -1. So if I'm looking at this segment here that I've drawn, 3/5 of the way horizontally from A to B is -1. Okay. I'm going to do the same plan for Y. Follow the same technique. So I'm going to do, first off, end minus start. Okay. and y's final value is -3, its initial value is +2. So if I do n minus star, it's going to be -3 minus 2. Since they're both negative, we add, we're going to get -5. This always says minus, but the signs might create an addition problem, they might create a subtraction problem, depends on the signs in the problem involved. So if the signs match, you add; if the signs are different, you subtract. And they always match the bigger number sign. Okay, we're still going only 3/5 of the way, so I'm going to do this number times 3/5. And again, that 3/5 came from here. Put -5/1. Once again, notice 5 and 5 reduction is possible. We should do it. -5 divided by 5 is -1. 5 divided by 5 is +1. That leaves me with 3 times -1, which is -3/1. Which again, I don't put over ones. And then finally, we started at A, and this is how far we're moving in that direction. So we're going 3 left from 2. So we simply do 2 plus -3, which equals -1. X is -1, y is -1. That point is 3/5 of the way from A to B. So the correct answer to the problem then would be -1, -1. I'm going to call that point P for partition. What's the total distance? In what direction? So we're going left 10. We multiply that by 3/5. That's left 6. And we start at this point, move left 6. What's the total distance down? We go down 5. We take 3/5 of that. That's -3. We take 3 away from the starting position. Okay, that's how you partition.
How did you get the -5 minus 5?
This one.
Yeah.
So the ending x value, which is -5, minus the starting x value, which is this minus sign is this,
Oh, I didn't.
and then we're subtracting 5.
I thought that was just like a through sign.
Yeah, that's -5 minus, that's n minus start. Same thing here, -3 minus 2, my starting y value -3. This minus sign is right here, and then we're subtracting 2. So the end value minus the start value is what's happening. Any other questions on that?